So saying that, one thing I would like to talk a little bit about is something that, as a new year beginning, we're talking about bad mood, to a wrong view, bad mood, thoughts, emotions, addictions. And maybe I wanted to, from the view of Dzogchen, which we're talking here a little bit now, maybe end up talking a little bit about the addictions of food. So addictions of food, maybe one thing I want to talk a little bit about is I felt like maybe, just to talk a little bit about being vegetarian. So, of course, from the point of view of the teaching of Buddha, and, like we say, like killing or killing somebody or asking somebody to kill somebody, being part of the killing, supporting the killing, and so everything has some kind of negative karma. So if you're eating meat, then there is a negative karma related to it from the point of view of the teaching, because if nobody is buying meat, then nobody will sell meat. If nobody is selling meat, then nobody will kill anybody. So the eater, the buyer, the seller, the killer, all have different portions of that karma. Not probably the same amount, but definitely everybody is part of it. So there is clearly, sometimes you see these images, kind of very, very strong images in like Facebook pages that, I'm know, everybody know probably I'm talking about, like that the reverse the situation of the people are hanging there in a butcher and the animals are walking to shopping the meat. Just imagine, imagine yourself hanging in the butcher, and the cow and the pigs and the chicken, they are coming looking, oh, I want to shop this guy. I want to eat a piece of that meat. Just imagine. In principle, what's the difference? It's just you reverse the situation. If you feel anything in relation to that, if you feel anything, or that shifting that, then kind of what it feels like. And that's how it feels, probably that's how it is feeling. So clearly, from the teaching point of view, it's a recommended. And also, that from the point of view of health, also, I think, I'm just basically talking about the essence of addiction. So I'm just trying to take the addiction a little bit too far, in terms of trying to relate that to becoming a vegetarian here, is that, from the health point of view, it's also that, people, time where people really, really believe that meat and dairy products are very important for protein, but nowadays, many people believe that there's enough proteins you get from many other sources. You don't have to eat meat. So it's not that is not an excuse. And of course, then some people thinking, oh, I'm O blood type and my genes are different thing. I definitely need meat. Maybe it's possible. I'm not sure about that, But anyway, my point is that if you really feel need, maybe then you can minimize it. But the amount of people eat today, consumption of meat, it's just too much. So I've been there personally. I've been there, so I know exactly. It's just addiction. So I strongly recommend to lessen or become vegetarian. And in fact, here at Serenity Ridge, we are also thinking that maybe we will turn this place into a vegetarian zone. So, and of course, the people, those you will come here at the retreat in the Serenity Ridge, I'm sure those you feel like I go there because I have meat there to eat. But that's not good, Like if you're coming for 1 year here and you're missing meat, and you really need, then I can understand you're coming 5 days here, not eating meat. Just look forward to come retreat here, and And of course, we have to improve our vegetarian food, right? That needs to be improved. I mean, if you're doing vegetarian, the meat eaters. They don't know. They think what is there to eat if you don't eat meat, right? But that's not true. There's incredible amount what you can eat and what you can make. So, and health-wise also, you know, like there are a lot of researchers now. They say the dairy product actually, you know, from 20% eating more, 20%, the cancer cells turn it on. And after 6 months later, after maybe a couple of weeks later, a month later, if you turn it down, not eating, it drops down to a 5% or something. So the cancer cells goes up and down as a result of a couple of weeks or a couple of months period of time what you eat. So I mean, there are so many things, so many reasons to not to eat. So to conclude that, I will recommend one documentary called Forks Over Knife. Polly is going to type it in there. And so that documentary is, I think it's a great documentary, a lot of research. And so I would recommend everybody to watch that documentary, not rent the documentary. I would recommend to buy that documentary, have it on your iPhone or on your computer or wherever you have, then watch not only one time, watch a couple of times, you know. It's a quite amazing documentary. So again, this is, of course, we are talking about the food. The thing is, we are talking here about end of the year, and we are talking about changing something, and we are talking about changing through the blessing and the teaching of the Dzogchen. So how you do that? Exactly the point is, I mean, of course, I talk about Dzogchen teaching somewhere of also the ways of clearing things, way of healing, the way of cutting through. You know, I try to emphasize that a little bit more because I think it's important to do that because it inspires more people. Because some people, there are people there. Let's say this way. I can't step back one. The Dzogchen teaching, the self-awareness is clearly self-realization, and self-awareness is clearly a great mean to cut addictions. Period. Okay, so that is the core message what I'm saying. So because of that, there are things that we struggle in our life, sometimes trying to change things in our life. And probably in those you are thinking, oh, I wanted to become, might be hard. I wanted to become vegetarian, but it might be hard. Okay, the same thing. I mean, I could, you know, used to eat meat 3 times a day, you know. So when you want to cut, you can cut. There's nothing you cannot do if you wanted to do it. The ability to do it also, that if you feel the connection to yourself, the more you be in that inner being, the more you feel that stillness and silence and spaciousness when those smart ego voices are active, smart ego's bodies is more active, smart ego mind is more active. Take the pills again and again and again, let them sleep them down and be in the natural state of mind with that intent of becoming vegetarian or intent to overcoming certain addiction, you will do it. So that is, I am trying to connect the Dzogchen teaching to the means of overcoming, and then in the outcome, very practical suggestion is just to become vegetarian.